On June 20th, 1837, a young woman ascended the British throne, ushering in an era that would redefine a nation and reshape the world. For 63 years and 7 months, Queen Victoria's reign, from 1837 to 1901, marked a period of unparalleled change, contradictions, and profound legacy. This was the Victorian era. Following the death of her uncle, William IV, Victoria became Queen of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. This era, known contemporaneously as Victorian, was characterized by a distinct sensibility, sometimes even predating Victoria's accession to include the agitation for the Reform Act of 1832. The early Victorian period from 1837 to 1850 was marked by social and political unrest, yet it was also a time of significant liberalizing political reforms, including the expansion of the electoral franchise. One of the most devastating events of this period was the Great Famine in Ireland from 1845 to 1852, which led to mass starvation, disease and death, sparking widespread emigration. In response, the controversial Corn Laws were repealed. The era also saw the complete abolition of slavery in African possessions and the end of convict transportation to Australia within the British Empire. Restrictions on colonial trade were loosened and semi-autonomous governments were introduced in some territories. Despite prosperity rising for some, debilitating undernutrition persisted. Literacy and childhood education became nearly universal in Great Britain, yet slum housing and disease remained severe problems, especially in rapidly growing urban centres like London. The mid-Victorian era, from 1851 to 1879, is often characterized as Britain's golden years. During this time, Britain was uniquely advanced in technology, known as the workshop of the world. National income per person increased by half, driven by industrialization, particularly in textiles and machinery, and vast exports across the empire. This period, part of the Pax Britannica, 1815 to 1914, saw relatively peaceful relations among the world's great powers. Britain was the most powerful country, engaging in conflicts mainly against minor powers and participating in diplomatic struggles like the Great Game and the scramble for Africa. Victorian society highly valued personal conduct and morality, which spurred social reform but also imposed restrictions on individual liberties. The growing middle class became a significant cultural influence, replacing the aristocracy as the dominant class. Family life was central, with increased importance placed on romantic love in marriage and a clear separation between home and workplace. Women were largely expected to manage domestic matters, leading to the development of a feminist movement advocating for their limited legal rights. The Victorian era was a crucible of scientific and technological innovation. The term scientist was coined in 1833, and scientific study began to professionalize. Debates around theories like Charles Darwin's on the origin of species in 1859 captured public attention. Communication and transportation underwent significant development. William Fothergill Cooke and Charles Wheatstone invented the telegraph in 1837, followed by the telephone in 1876 and early radio broadcasting by Guglielmo Marconi towards the end of the century. Railways became vital, stimulating trade and industry and becoming major employers themselves. The late Victorian period, from 1880 onwards, saw new waves of aestheticism and imperialism. Wage rates continued to improve, with real wages 65% higher in 1901 compared to 1871. Savings increased significantly among the population. Improvements in housing, sewage and water management led to Britain having one of the most advanced public health systems globally. Medicine advanced rapidly, with the development of germ theory and an increase in hospitals, contributing to a slight decrease in overall mortality and an increase in life expectancy. However, child labour though facing increased restrictions and compulsory education in the 1870s and 1880s, continued to inhibit schooling for some into the early 20th century. Overcrowding and inadequate sanitation remained problems in many urban areas. Moral standards emphasized good manners and self-restraint across all classes, influenced by major conflicts and the evangelical movement. Legal restrictions were placed on animal cruelty and child protection increased. Crime rates fell significantly in the latter half of the century. Popular culture flourished with the growth of novels, magazines, children's literature and newspapers. Music halls, brass bands and choral music gained mass appeal. Many sports, including cricket, football and rugby, were introduced or popularized, becoming important to male identity. After the death of her beloved husband Prince Albert in 1861, Queen Victoria withdrew from public life for a decade. She eventually returned, and in her later years her popularity soared, making her a powerful symbol of the British Empire. Queen Victoria passed away on January 22, 1901, bringing an end to an era that witnessed unparalleled growth, profound social shifts and technological marvels. The Victorian era, with its complexities and contradictions, left an indelible mark on Britain and the world, shaping the course of history for generations to come. If you like this video, please leave us a like and subscribe, and make sure to check our other videos